you guys already know what time it is. Like, hey, you all have asked, I'm bringing it back. This is Blackbeard What Ifs, here with part 4 now. No, yeah, I think it was either part 3 or part 4 on what if Deku had carnage. And before we get started, I actually went and kind of looked up someone's name. This little kid, looks like a Sasuke ripoff. Uh, Turns out his name is like Samidere or something like that. I'm not the best at pronouncing things. I try, okay? So his nickname will just be Sami. Just Sami. I can't think of anything else, and I don't want to keep calling him Deco, or I don't want to keep calling him Gecko. So yeah, his nickname is just gonna be Sami. Okay. Yeah, that's basically it. His name or his name Samidere, his nickname Sami. That's it. That's all I want to clarify. And just as a quick recap, just so you all remember, where we last left off, or a quick recap of what happened in the last part. Well, basically, the League of Villains, Deku and all of them, they all stormed the USJ. And for the most part, it looks like they're winning until All Might came in. All Might, Endeavor, and they were kind of beating on, no, just kind of beating on Deku until, he kind of got punched into a wall and got very, very pissed. So, no, Deku came out and just started absolutely beating the hell out of All Might and Endeavor, because Endeavor went to go shoot a blast attack at him, and yeah, he just ate that shit for breakfast and then just nicely sent her into the other side, just knocked her around a couple times. And yeah, I think that's about it. Like, he beat the hell out of All Might, weakened her even more, so her time is like lower than more. Like, I think All Might had only a couple hours left, like, 1 or 2 hours left for One for All. And Deku lowered it to the point where it's basically not even an hour. She got like 30 minutes to beat the hell out of you before it's a wrap for her. So, yeah, basically safe to say there is kinda nothing on this planet currently that can stop Deku. And it's about to get even worse beating Deku. So, where we come back to is Deku now waking up in his bed. Like, at the League of Villains warehouse or whatever. Or, like, not warehouse, at their bar. Deku would wake up and everything. As he would look down, he would see just two gorgeous women next to him. Of course, those, well, not two, three gorgeous women, actually. The first one is female stain, because, yeah, I feel like it. Forget you guys. Second one is, of course, Shigaraki, because, yeah. And then, third one, everyone's favorite crazy chick, Toga. So, yeah. I don't know why I'd have to go any further in depth. So, yeah. But basically, Deku would wake up as he would just kind of look down and see them all just kind of hugging and clinging onto him, as he would just kind of smile and have a couple tendrils come from his back, and he would have those tendrils slowly pull the three off of him so he could get up. Because, y'all try getting up when a damn girl is clinging to you. That shit's hard, okay? Like, damn near impossible, especially seeing how you don't want to wake him up. But Deku's having his tendrils literally wrap around them and lift them up. And once, Deku gets up and everything, he places them back on the bed as he gets, Deku gets dressed and everything, get on the good Alex Mercer fit, got that good drip on, as Deku would just kind of walk away, and as he's walking off, he would start, making a blade come out of his like turning his arm into a blade, like in this image. And Deku would just kind of go around, like, how would you put it? He would go around getting, just killing random heroes. Killing heroes and killing some villains. So, yeah. So, Deku, he's like, he's moving around, just traversing from rooftop to rooftop, when all of a sudden, he is like, all of a sudden, he just gets this feeling to, like, go to this warehouse. Like, he's getting this feeling and he's getting drawn to this one place and he doesn't know why. As Deku, he's making his way over there, and now Deku, he, like, how could I put it? Deku walks into the warehouse, and in the warehouse is just this sword. It's just a sword, it's on the ground. As Deku's like, what the hell? Is this what's been pulling me to it? Like, is the sword calling me or something? As Deku would hear another voice call out to him, as the voice just says, "No, that would be me." As Deku's looking around in the dark warehouse, and he's like, "Who's there? Show yourself!" As Deku's about to transform, and immediately this white-haired man with kind of this, looks like he's wearing just full black armor. Black armor. He has like this cape on, and he has this white hair, all while his skin being fairly pale, would walk out. As this mysterious man would look at Deku, as Deku's like, "Well, who are you? Explain yourself." As no, right as Deku says that, Deku can just feel this overwhelming bloodlust, like someone's trying to kill him at this point now, or at least that's what he's feeling. As he would look towards the mysterious man again, and he's like, hey, calm down, calm down. I didn't mean anything by it. Calm down." Like, no, he's saying, like, Deku's saying that, but at the same time, he's slowly transforming, starting from his feet down, so, the dude doesn't get suspicious or anything. And so Deku doesn't die, of course, but yeah. As the white-haired individual would just say, "What? You think you can order around your king, your maker?" As Deku looks at him and he's like, whoa, I don't know about you, but I sir, I think you got me mistaken for someone else, cause you didn't make me. My bastard mother did. Both of them, actually. As as the white-haired individual is like, "No, I made what you became now. The same person you fused with. Isn't that right? Carnage." As Deku can just kind of feel scared now, and it's not his fear. It's almost like, someone else's. As, Deku would transform and just kind of immediately get on one knee, as Deku just says, "I'm so sorry." But immediately Deku kind of snaps out of it, as he stands up and he's like, "Wait, I know I can take you on. Why am I being scared?" As the man the man looks at Deku, as they pause for a minute, and then the mysterious man just starts laughing. He's like, "Ha, wow, I none of my creations have ever been that ballsy before to try and fight me. Usually they just give in. I like you, kid. So this is why I'll tell you what. You want destruction? I want chaos. So I think we could do ourselves a favor here. If if I make you, if I let you take my place, will you, how could I put it? Will you deal with all the insects on this planet?" As Deku would look at the white-haired man, he's like, "You know what? Sure, I could take your place, but what's your name? I need to know what I'm working with." As the white-haired man would pull out a sword, as he would just say, "Well, I guess you could call me Null." As he's like, "Null? Where have I heard that name before?" As the white-haired man would speak up. He's like, "Well, I am the king slash god of symbiotes, so that's probably where you heard it from. Probably heard it from Carnage before you all fused." And she's like, "Whoa, wait, you're the king?" As Null would look at Deku and he would just kind of nod his head. He's like, "Yeah, yeah, I am." And you know, for the most part, Deku is actually keeping a pretty calm demeanor. Like he's not scared of Null. So he's like, okay, well, I guess I'll take your place if that's what you want. Anything to help me further defeat these fake heroes. As Null would look at Deku and he's like, oh, trust me. All I need for you to do is accept my sword. You'll know when to use it, but just accept my sword and you'll gain my power. As Deku would he's like, okay, I mean, sure, if that's what you want, I'll accept your power. And he grabs the sword, and Deku can just feel this power surging through him. It's coursing through every bit of his body. From the moment Deku grabbed the sword, he can just feel every part of him just kind of like each every single piece of him is just overflowing with power now. Like Deku just feels brand new. As he would look towards Null and he's like, "So, what is the sword called?" As he would say, "Well, I guess you could say the sword is called the Necro Sword." He's like, "Huh, the Necro Sword, huh? All right. I can get used to this." As Deku swinging it around a little, just kind of getting the feel of it, getting to know how it feels in his hands. As Deku's like, alright, well, hopefully I'll see you again. No. As as Null would just kind of smirk and look at Deku, and he's like, well, if you're seeing me anytime soon, you're dead. So I don't think so, kid. I don't think you want to see me anytime soon. As immediately Deku's like, oh, on second thought, yeah, nah, I'm good. I don't feel like dying anytime soon. And Deku just puts the sword on his back and he just starts walking away. And he's like, okay, well, Null, I'll catch you later. Because hopefully next time we meet each other, one, I won't be dead, and two, you're going to be drastically helping me. As Deku leaves the warehouse, Null would say, oh, but kid, I already helped you in ways that you couldn't even imagine. As Deku would, he's still like Deku's a little bit baffled at what the hell just happened, but nonetheless, he's like, okay, what do I do? As when Deku walked out the warehouse, he looked up and he realized he was in there for 12 hours. So, yeah, it's like 2, 3 something in the morning. So, in other words, Deku is mighty fucked right now. Like, Deku is screwed. So, Midoriya, or Yagi, whatever you want to really call his name, Izuku, he just kind of, he's like, all right, well, I'm gonna have to make it home very quickly. As he transforms, he does like just a roar just because, just a roar to let people know that he's around. As Deku just starts traversing from building to building, and he's just moving effortlessly, almost like gelatinous. Like he's like a damn bit of slime just moving. And Deku, he's just swinging around and everything. He'll like launch a tendril into a building and use that building to like swing like Spider-Man. And yeah, he's just doing a whole lot of shit. Like he's just doing a whole lot of stuff. And Deku eventually makes it home where like he opens the door to the bar to be immediately like bombarded by 4 different people. Stain, Toga, Shigaraki, and Kurogiri, all of which wondering where the hell did he go. As Deku, he would transform back as he's like, well, it's safe to say I kind of found something and met someone. As Deku would pull the sword off of his back, the sword looking very symbiote-like. It looks like a symbiote just morphed into a sword, basically. And they're all wondering what it is, as Deku would just kind of say, he's like, well, this is the Necro Sword. And the person I got it from basically said, I'll know when to use it. So, hopefully that time comes quickly. And Deku is, Deku's like, alright, well, I'm pretty tired. I'm gonna head to bed. And, of course, the three main girls there, they offer to just go to sleep with him. And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. As Kurogiri also just like, alright, well, good night. I'll see y'all. I'll catch y'all later. And they all go to sleep and everything. And that's about it for that night. And now, I'll just do a quick time skip to the sports festival. But for that time skip, that 1 week time skip, Deku has been training immensely with that sword. He's been having Stain teach him how to use a sword, because Deku's not the best at it, but still kind of good. Or at least that was before he met Carnage. But no, he's having Stain train him, and for the most part, Deku's now actually pretty good with a sword. And if I could say how good he is with a sword, I'll say he's about like, just gonna add in another universe here. He's like Yorichi levels of good with a sword. Like that's how fast he is when it comes to when he's swinging a sword. Like, you won't see him until your head's on the ground. And basically, Deku would be just kind of planning. He would just be talking and everything with his, like, girlfriends. Yeah, his three girlfriends. He would be talking with them, as he would just kind of say to them, he's like, well, we need, like, there's something we have to do, or something I have to do. So I'll be right back, and you all stay here and just watch TV. Look at the sports festival or something. Learn about the heroes. As, the three of them are like, okay, whatever. As, Deku would start walking out, and he's like, Kurogiri, open a gate for me. Whereas he's like, just a random alley somewhere. And, of course, that's what Kurogiri would do. He opens the portal and everything. Deku walks through. He's like, thanks. And that's it. But, no, on the other end, in this alleyway, Deku doesn't realize that someone saw him come from a portal. So, yeah. And basically, this person is, of course... Oh, hold on, wrong quick second, guys. Alright, I'm back. So basically, when Deku gets out of the portal, the portal closes and everything, and Deku's about to start walking, as immediately he just gets hit in the side and, like, sent skidding back. Like, he gets hit back and he's sent back, and he just kind of skids across the ground, still standing, as he looks to see who it is, and it's none other than Ida's older sister. Yeah, her older sister. I would give her a name, but she's irrelevant. So, the other Ingenium, and the one that's about to be quickly beaten. As Deku would... No, he looks at Ingenium with a sinister grin, as he's like, oh, so you've come to try and take me down too. Not... Even when you know that I took down the number 1, number 2, and a whole class of heroes all by myself. As, like, Ingenium would look at him, and she's like, that doesn't matter. I'm still gonna take you down. As she's trying her hardest to chase, like, not chase after Deku, but, just use her speed to try and catch him off guard. And for the most part, it's not working at all. He's beating the hell out of her. As basically Deku would, like, he would literally just morph his arm into a blade and just do a singular cut. Like, just a singular cut, like a horizontal cut, right as she jumps, and he would literally just chop one of her legs clean off. He would chop one leg clean off as, you know, Deku, while he's transforming and everything, he would pick up her leg and he's like, tasty. And he would literally just eat her leg in front of her. That he would literally just eat her leg, and that's about it. And no, Deku, he's like, okay, seeing how you were so cocky, so eager to fight me, I'm about to have fun with you. And before anyone says anything, no, not the type of fun y'all are probably thinking of, you pervs. Much more painful fun. As Deku would basically just look at her like this, and he would just transform, like, transform all of his limbs into different weapons, and he would just start mercilessly beating the hell out of her. Like, she got the shit beaten out of her. It's real sad to say, but yeah, she got beaten. As basically Deku beats the life out of her. Well, not the life out of her. He beats her up a lot and ends up cutting off one of her arms and shoots a projectile at that arm, piercing it into the wall. As Deku would, like, Deku would stab her in the stomach, and then once, and, like, he pulls out his blade, grabs her head, and just slams her into the ground, knocking her out. But Deku would then, take her blood and write onto the wall next to her arm, "This is what happens to heroes that try and fight me." As, then on the other wall, on the other side of the alley, he would say, "Who's next?" in her blood. As Deku would take, he would take her, he would take Ingenium, and he would jump off somewhere. He would jump off and he's just gone. And no one knows where she went, but everyone can kind of guess that she had a run-in with Carnage and it did not go well with her. So she's missing. It's the day of the sports festival, and they're just now telling Ida, Tensei, or Tenya, Ida, they're just now telling her that her sister has been, I guess you could say, killed, but don't really know at the moment. So yeah, it's a whole lot of problems, to say the least. As Ida is very pissed about this, and just like in canon, she wants to kill the one responsible, who is, of course, not Stain, uh, Deku, because, well, he beat the hell out of her sister and then made her into an example. But yeah, and so for the most part of the, like, you don't really have to focus on the sports festival a whole lot until we reach the end when they're giving out the medals. Because while everyone's there, they're all cheering on all the students that were participated and everything. All of a sudden, they hear something coming down and it's laughing, and whatever it is, it hits the ground hard. Like, very hard, making this huge thud that just shakes everything in there. As Deku would, when the smoke clears, it would show Deku standing there, but they realize he's holding someone. And they're all wondering who, as, Deku would literally just smile. He would transform back to his normal human form and just smile as he holds up the armless, legless body of Ida's sister, as she is deceased, and from the looks of it, mutilated. As Deku just kind of everyone just kind of looks in horror at Deku, who's just smiling back at them. As he just says, he's like, this is what happens to heroes. I want you all to know that. It's better to just give up now and let me finish my plans than to try and stop me and end up like this. As Deku would just kind of throw her onto the ground and then just kick her in the stomach, even though she's already dead. But doing that would enrage Ida. Because, just watched your sister. Not only do you realize your sister's dead, but she just got humiliated even more because they're just kicking a dead body now. But Ida would jump down and she would run towards Deku as, no, she's like, I'm gonna kill you. And she goes to throw a hit at Deku, like throw a kick, as Deku would transform. Like he would jump up, transform, and then just pin her onto the ground while smiling. And while he's smiling, he has all these tendrils pointing projectiles at her, pointing little blades at her, as he says, try a stunt like that again and you'll end up like your idiot of a sister. Dead. As she's like, I'll kill you for this. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. As just saying it over and over. As he's like, yeah, whatever. As Deku just kind of picks her up and lightly tosses her away. He's like, I don't really have a need for you. So, that was all I really had to tell you guys. So, I guess I'll see everyone later. As immediately, Class 1A jumps down. At Class 1A, Class 1B, and the heroes, they all jump down trying to surround Deku. Thinking they truly have a chance. But Deku, all he really does is he just kind of looks at them as he begins to get a sinister smirk on his face as he begins to change and morph until literally he looks like this. And they're all like, what? What is this? As he's like, well, I guess you could call this spiral. Spiral into what? As, Deku, as you can see by this image, you can kind of tell he is very tall. As Deku's laughing and he just says, spiral into insanity, of course. As one of his arms would stretch out and he grabs, a member of Class 1B and he pulls that girl towards him as he grabs her with two hands and just rips her in half. He would rip her in half and then just go on a beating spree, just beating the ever-loving hell out of everyone there. And well, no, not even everyone there. He beat everyone up and left Ida. Left her there. She's fine. Ida's fine. Everyone else isn't. As Deku would he would stay in this form as he would just jump off. He would jump to the top of the stadium and then just keep jumping. He's just out. He's gone somewhere. And Deku would make it back to the bar as he would walk through the doors, and immediately everyone's looking at him and they're like, what the hell? Why didn't you tell anyone that you could do all of that? As he's like, well, y'all didn't really ask, to be honest. So, I mean, yeah. Y'all didn't ask if I could transform into anything else. Y'all just thought it was only Carnage. And really, yeah, Carnage is the main one. And Carnage is the one where all of these came from. Because really, I'm just taking Carnage and altering him slightly. And they're like, what do you mean altering him slightly? And I'm like, well, this is Carnage still. But this version of Carnage is more resistant to fire, as by his all black skin. He's more resistant to fire and heat, to the point where you're not hurting him. And they're like, oh, well, do you have another one that's like just resistant to everything? And he's like, oh, I do, but we're not getting into that one yet. And that's actually where I'm gonna leave this one off for now, guys. Really, I'm only doing this because you all really asked, or else I wasn't really gonna do a whole lot this week, because I'm just trying to chill with my family this week. So I mean, yeah, but basically, yeah, that's it for this video. If y'all want, I'll try to make a part 5 soon, but it's gonna have to wait a little. So yeah. But anyway, this is Blackbeard What Ifs signing off. I'll see you guys later. Bye.